NTV, Central and Western Nebraska's most watched late news. This is NTV News at 10.
A fire breaks out in the center of Grand Island. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 10. NTV's Megan Johnson is live from the scene near downtown GI. Megan, we've heard multiple crews have been sent out there. What do you know so far?
You're exactly right, Sarah. Actually, the ladder truck that you can see behind me that's still fighting this fire is from Hastings. They've come to assist Grand Island. We have reports that St. Paul is also sending equipment to help with this. This fire is at the corner of 3rd and Elm. It's in the building that houses Ron's Transmission and J&J's Used Furniture. The fire seemed to mostly be on the J&J's Used Furniture side, which is kind of the east end of this building. Crews came here first around about 8 o'clock, so they've been here for about 2 hours fighting this fire. Now, it seemed like it was getting under control, like it was just the roof, and then flames spread to the outside of the building, and probably about half an hour ago, a big part of this building actually collapsed from this fire. Grand Island has recalled manpower and equipment twice for this, and more trucks have come. They've been attacking it from the roof, which is non-existent anymore, and from the ground both. So right now, I think they're just trying to keep the flames at bay while the rest of this burns. We haven't been able to talk to fire officials about what they think started it or if anyone was in the building at the time. We have no reports of injuries at this time either. It has drawn hundreds of people to downtown Grand Island to see what is the biggest structure fire I have ever seen. We'll stay with this story and we'll try to keep you updated throughout the show. In Grand Island, Megan Johnson, NTV News.
Thanks, Megan. Well, let's turn to weather now. Meteorologist Regina Bird is in with a check of your first alert forecast. Regina?
Yeah, we do have a chance for some scattered storms overnight, and that chance lingers until tomorrow morning. 61 for our temperature at that time. Then we see some gusty winds come in tomorrow around dinner time. Partly cloudy by that time as well. We'll see those clouds decrease throughout the day, and then 75 still at dinner time. Those winds still gusting, but more on those storm chances coming up in your full forecast. Sarah?
All right, thanks, Regina. A Kearney woman has died from severe burns she received in a lawnmower accident last month. 56-year-old Terry Moreau of rural Kearney died Thursday at St. Elizabeth's Burn Center in Lincoln, where she was taken after the accident. Investigators say on June 30th, Moreau was driving a riding lawnmower that went out of control, flipped, and pinned her underneath. The mower then caught fire. Services will be held Wednesday morning at O'Brien Stratman Redinger Funeral Home in Kearney. For the second time in as many days, lightning has killed someone at Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, this time a Nebraskan. Park spokeswoman says 4 people were struck by lightning near Trail Ridge Road yesterday afternoon. They were rushed to a hospital in Estes Park, but 52-year-old Gregory Cardwell of Scotts Bluff died of his injuries. On Friday afternoon, park officials said lightning killed 1 Ohio woman and injured 7 other people in the same Trail Ridge, which is the nation's highest continuously paved road. Officials say these are the park's first lightning fatalities since 2000. Farmers Cooperative plans to have their Pilger location back up and running by harvest. The co-op manager says he never questioned whether the elevator would be rebuilt after the June 16th tornado. The co-op was Pilger's largest employer. Blueprints for the new co-op have already been completed and new grain bins are on the way. Roughly 3/4 of Pilger was damaged in that storm. New restrictions on tanning beds and novelty lighters are about to become law. They're among 122 new laws set to go into effect in Nebraska on Friday, when the 3-month grace period from the end of the legislative session expires. Indoor tanning beds will be off limits to children younger than 16 unless they're accompanied by a parent or guardian, and they'll still need written consent. And Nebraska will only allow the sale of novelty lighters that have childproof safety features. Senators also approved major legislation to lower taxes and reduce prison crowding, but most of those measures won't come into play until next year. A candidate for Senate here in Nebraska is raising big bucks to fund his run. Ben Sass's campaign announced today that they've raised nearly $1.2 million in the first reporting period of the general election. The Republican has raised more than $3.5 million to date. Democrat Dave Domina and Independent Jim Jenkins are also running for the Senate seat. Independent Todd Watson has also submitted signatures to Nebraska's Secretary of State in an effort to appear on the ballot. An internationally recognized drum corps is heading to Missouri after spending the day practicing in Hastings. Santa Clara Vanguard used Hastings College to practice on their way from a performance in Denver. The group of 150 performers and about 30 support staff have come through the area in the past few years. They say that's because the college has nice facilities and friendly people. Performers from around the world try out to be a part of the group, and those who make it have a rigorous practice and travel schedule.
Everyone here is pretty intrinsically motivated, and the reason why is because this activity is just really fun, and there's just a lot of hard work and a lot of good work ethic, and people enjoy being around that atmosphere.
The Corps is ultimately preparing for World Championships on August 9th in Indianapolis. The practice was open to the public today. Artists have traveled hundreds of miles to be in Kearney this weekend. Organizers say that's because the community's art in the park has gained a reputation. They say the event is hard to show in for a reason. Founders Larry and Sherry Peterson made a commitment to bring in high caliber work to the show. And whether it's traditional work like photography or something new like fused glass, it makes artists want to participate.
There's a lot of different ways to do the glass, and when somebody says, well, they haven't seen that before, it kind of makes me happy, makes me think I'm on the right path.
I think arts are a neglected part of culture, and this is one part that Kearney has done very well, I think, to promote this type of art in this community.
Plans are already in the works for next year's event, and organizers are also looking ahead to the 50th anniversary. This year, a silent auction was held with proceeds being split between the Mona Library and a visual arts scholarship for a Kearney senior attending UNK. A historical baseball capital of Nebraska will be home to a special traveling sports exhibit for the next month. The hometown team's display is set up in the St. Paul Library. It was put together by the Smithsonian Institution and Humanities Nebraska. Videos, pictures, and objects detail how sports have shaped American history. It's not just about baseball, but the community opened the exhibit as part of Grover Cleveland Alexander Days this weekend, and the chamber director says it fits right in with St. Paul's love of historical sports.
Excellent museum downtown, and I think maybe that's a big instigator on getting it here because we have a famous baseball player from St. Paul and Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Hometown teams will be open daily at the library until August 9th. It will be on display in Lexington later this winter. Well, right off the top of the show, we told you about this big fire in Grand Island. Let's go back to NTV's Megan Johnson live on the scene. Multiple fire crews battling. Megan, what's the latest?
Well, Sarah, at least 2 downtown businesses are probably going to have to relocate as the building they're in continues to burn. This building is an older downtown Grand Island building. It had the Ford label on the outside and it said built in 1929. Most of it is gone now. It's Ron's Transmission and J&J's Used Furniture were the signs out front. I have not been able to confirm with fire officials if anyone was inside at the time the fire started. Crews have been here since about 8 o'clock. Grand Island is being assisted by Hastings, and possibly other towns have been called as well. They've had to recall manpower and equipment several times for this fire. We will try to find out more information and keep you updated on Good Morning Nebraska tomorrow.
Thank you so much for that live report. Thanks, Megan. Still to come on NTV News at 10, we'll honor 5 brothers who served in the Army, Air Force, and Navy in tonight's Sunday Salute.
Tons of pictures with lots of kids and a lot of really big fish this week. Join me, it's coming up shortly, the Outdoor Files.
A cool down to start your work week, but how long will it last? Your full forecast is coming up.
Time now for NTV's First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Regina Bird.
Welcome back. Well, we had a warm day today, but a cool down coming to start off our work week. 61 at breakfast time, a slight chance for some lingering storms at that time as well. Winds pick up around dinner time, but those clouds decrease and we see some sunshine. 72 around dinner time and then 75 by supper. Going to be seeing lots of sunshine, but those winds continuing to gust. We could see gusts up to 30 miles per hour tomorrow. Highs today topping out in the 80s and 90s. The hot spot looks like it was in Chadron with 93 for their high today. We hit 90 in both Grand Island and Kearney, so a warm day for sure. 88 for the high in Hastings, 92 in Phillipsburg, Kansas, and 94 in Hill City, and 90 in McCook. Definitely going to see a cool down starting tomorrow. Highs are only going to be in the upper 70s and low 80s. We did see a few showers and storms pop up this evening. Those have dwindled out, but there is a chance overnight as well. We could see a few strong storms, but most of them will remain below severe limits. So hopefully just get some good rain with those scattered storms tonight. Temperatures out there right now in the 70s and 60s with 69 in Broken Bow, 74 in Grand Island currently, 72 in Chadron at this hour. As we look at our winds in the Tri-Cities, they are fairly calm. Thankfully, around 5 miles per hour in Kearney is the highest that we are seeing in the Tri-Cities. In the north central part of the state, temperatures in the low 70s with 70 in Albion and Ord as well. As we go to North Platte and Broken Bow, they are also sitting in the upper 60s actually, with 69 in both spots at this hour. And as we go to the southwest portion of the state, they are a little on the cool side as well, with 60s and then 74 in McCook currently. Looking at our futurecast, there is that frontal boundary. See some scattered storms develop overnight. Some of them could linger into the morning hours, but otherwise going to clear out for our Monday, but cooler for sure. Those temperatures going to be in the low or upper 70s and low 80s for our highs tomorrow. And then a high pressure system comes in. We have a clear night for Monday night. Taking a look at our averages, our average this time of year is generally in the upper 80s. We stayed around that mark today, but cooler on Monday and cooler again on Tuesday. Those cool temperatures will last till Wednesday. 61 for our low tonight. Tomorrow, our high of 77, those morning storm chances, but just in the morning, and then 52 for our low Monday night. Going to be a cool night on Monday. So 60s and some 50s for our lows tonight. Tomorrow, topping out in the 70s and low 80s, and then those 70s continue clear until Thursday, and then by next weekend, we'll get back to around seasonal temperatures with some slight storm chances coming back as well.
You must have heard my prayers, because this is my ideal temperatures, the mid 70s.
Me too, and it's July. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And we're seeing those. We'll take it, won't we?
Exactly. Amazing. Well, for this week's Sunday Salute, we honor 5 Who's brothers who served in various branches of the military.
Larry served in the Army from 1959 until 1963. During this time, he was stationed in Korea. He passed away in a car accident in 1987.
Gary served in Korea as well from 1968 until 1970. He currently lives in Grand Island.
And Tony was stationed in Korea with the Air Force. He served from 1968 until 1972, and he currently resides in Overton.
Ron was stationed in San Diego, California with the Navy from 1969 to 1971. He now lives in Amherst.
The youngest brother, Doug, served in the Navy from 1970 until 1972. He was stationed in many different areas during this time, including Long Beach, California, Hawaii, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Philippines, and Vietnam. He now lives in Sumner.
Their sister Dixie Line submitted the nomination. She wants to say how very proud she is of her 5 brothers for serving our country, and God bless America. Who's brothers, thank you for your service to our country. If you have someone you'd like to nominate, just email us at sundaysalute@nebraska.tv. We'll be right back.
It's coming up next Sunday. It's the Four Rivers Sportsman's Club Nebraska 10-stand clays championship. You'll find out much more by going on their website here. Coming up on Sunday, a benefit for Hastings College, their shooting team at the college. There's going to be the Silver Reserve 12 gauge that you can win. It starts at 8 a.m. There's food, vendors there, and it's Lewis class scoring. Prizes for first, second, and third place. So go on the website and check out that event next weekend. Then the following Sunday, 9:30 is the start time. It's a novelty shoot for men, women, and children at the Arapahoe Isaac Walton League. Of course, just right outside of Arapahoe. At Sherman, the white bass going under the lights at night with minnows and a few crappie being taken at the same time. You might try drifting with shad or shrimp for those big catfish. Davis Creek, white bass under the lights. Those shad are starting to school up now, and you might even throw some slab spoons out, chase them around during the daylight hours, early morning, evening. Channel cat, shad, cut bait at the inlet, walleye trolling crankbaits off the points. Tons of pictures this week. Here they are. Great pictures. Keep sending them my way to kboughton@nebraska.tv. That is the Outdoor Files for this week. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks, Kent. Well, we're going to go back to our top story, a large fire near downtown Grand Island. Megan Johnson has been live reporting for us on the scene. Megan, I know you haven't been able to get a lot of information from firefighters, but we saw a lot of flames tonight. Is there any danger of this hopping the street or getting into other buildings?
This seems to be one kind of continuous building on this block, and it looks like it's pretty much contained to that building. Some onlookers tell me they saw it start more on the east end and kind of move to the west. It's definitely that east end that's taken the most damage. Most of that part of the building is actually gone. It was J&J's used furniture. It collapsed around 9:30 after firefighters had already been on the scene for about an hour and a half, and you can see that it's still burning behind me. A Grand Island Fire has called for mutual aid. Hastings and St. Paul are here helping them. Haven't, like you said, we haven't been able to get too much information confirmed. Have not got any reports of injuries, but we don't know if anyone was inside at the time that the fire started. We'll keep trying to find out more and keep you updated throughout the night. Sarah?
Great. Megan Johnson reporting live. Thanks, Megan. We'll check in with you again. Obviously, an ongoing situation with those flames behind her. Well, in other news, our sense of smell could be an indication of Alzheimer's disease. Scientists say new research shows a decreased ability to correctly identify odors could be associated with a loss of brain cell function. The findings were reported in the Alzheimer's Association International Conference in Denmark this weekend. Researchers also found that eye exams could help in early diagnosis of Alzheimer's. While more research is needed, doctors say those findings are promising because it would make detection less invasive and could allow for earlier treatment. Well, still to come, the Miss Basketball Tournament is wrapping up this evening with the 20th annual All-Star Game. Next in sports, highlights from some of the best talent from around the area.
Kansas City sitting just one game over 500, heading into today's matchup with the #1 team in the AL Central Division. Kansas City wrapping up their series with Detroit this afternoon. Top of the third, 1-0 Tigers. J.D. Martinez flies one to shallow left with a runner on first, and the ball drops in for the RBI single. Tigers are now up 2-zip. Bottom of the 7th. Game is now tied at 2. Kansas City's Omar Infante lines one to left off Al Albuquerque with the bases loaded for the go-ahead 2-run single. Royals lead 4-2. Next batter, Eric Hosmer takes Phil Cope deep to the gap and right and over the wall on a hop for the RBI ground rule double. Hosmer extends his career best hitting streak to 13 games. Royals win 5-2. Kearney runs it, recognizing their bat boy with an autograph ball before taking on Omaha Gross. Coming up here in just a second. They gave him an autograph ball. It's pretty cool today. Top of the first, 2 outs. Nate Tatler sends it out to right field for an RBI single. Omaha Gross is on the board first. They lead 1-0. Top of the 7th, 1 out with a runner in scoring position. Kevin Hansling rips one deep to right center. Omaha Gross is now 2-0. Omaha Gross pitcher Dominic Swertzik has a no-hitter going into the bottom of the 7th, but with 2 outs to go, Ty Roseberry changes that. He laces one deep center field for a double. Runza now has 2 on base as Dakota Schreiner steps up to the dish. Full count, he ends up smashing one deep to the wall for a 2-run triple. Game is now knotted up at 2. Jared Smalley's up next. He shoots it right up the middle for a walk-off single. Kearney wins in thrilling fashion. Final score 3-2. Grand Island Home Federal and Millard South scoreless heading into the top of the 5th. 2 on and 1 out. Phoenix Stevenson sends it right to first base, but he slides by and is safe, loading up the bases. Kevin Cahoy up next. He shoots it straight into right field. Jaden Johnson makes it home, but Jaden Cohen gets tagged out. Home Federal leads 1-0. Top of the 7th, Stevenson rips one to shallow right, driving in a run. Home Federal leads 2-0. Which is the final. GI Home Federal nabs their 6th consecutive win, improving to 32-8 on the season. Hastings 5 points hosting Papio South for their final game at Duncan Field this season. Top of the 2nd, 1 out and a runner on second. Quentin Venecra pops it out to shallow center. Michael Buell beats the throw home and Papio South is up 1-0. Same inning, Connor Martin sends it out to right field. 5 points turns 2, ending the inning. They tack on 11 runs later in the game, ending this one in 5 innings. Final score 11-1. The Miss Basketball Tournament wrapping up this evening with the 20th annual All-Star Game, featuring a handful of the top seniors from last winter. The Red Team up 32-28 with just over 14 minutes to go in the game. Rachel Jeldon from Holdridge shoots it up to Peyton Cutterback from Kearney High, who's all by herself for the easy lay-in. Red pulls within 2. Then Kaylin Bassnett from Ravenna knocks down a 3 from the wing, putting them in the lead. She finished with 12 points this evening. Cozad's Samantha Carlson dropping it in baseline. She also tallied 12 points, which was the game high. The blue team wins this one 56-40. The World Cup finals taking place today between Germany and Argentina. Former Spanish player Carlos Puyol and Giselle Bündchen bring out the World Cup. 113th minute, Germany's Mario Götze controls the ball off his chest and then in one motion finds the back of the net for what would be the World Cup winning goal. Germany wins 1-0. This is the 4th World Cup for Germany. They are the first European team to win the World Cup on South American soil. Well, that wraps up sports. We'll be right back with a final check at your forecast.
Regina, how's that overnight looking?
Well, we do have a chance for some scattered storms overnight, scattered showers, maybe a few strong storms, but looking like just some good rain with those. 20% chance lingers in the morning hours, then by noon, those decreasing clouds, but it will be a little bit breezy with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Temperatures around 72. It's going to be a cool day tomorrow with temperatures only reaching the upper 70s and low 80s. And those 70s continue clear through next Thursday, so that's good news for that.
That's awesome. Now, I know we want to update people on our top story, and you said the smoke from downtown Grand Island is actually showing up.
Yeah, sometimes you can see smoke on the radar if it's pretty extensive, and it is showing up a little bit on the radar. So that shows you how much smoke is coming from this fire.
Yeah, we've had Megan Johnson reporting from the scene all night. She says St. Paul is on the scene, Hastings, Grand Island, and it looks like they're going to be there for quite a while. We will update you tomorrow on Good Morning Nebraska. Thanks so much for watching. We'll leave you with this shot tonight and stay tuned for NTV's Grow.